Going on, reach more SLAP Train, and welcome back today, guys, to the channel. Dirt 4 back with some more early access alpha build from our recent trip to Spain. I was lucky enough to get some direct capture footage. Huge thanks to Codemasters and Hollie Bennett for allowing me to use her Elgato. Today, though, we're going to be looking at the smash challenges for our rear-wheel drive section, man. Now, this has been something that I really wanted to test out on the game. We haven't seen a lot of gameplay with rear-wheel drive, and I figured this would be the perfect time to test this thing out on the wheel. We have the Opal going into the Dirtfish USA free roam area. Now, as I did mention last episode, this is still the same spot as we were last time, but it is now littered with different objectives and things to smash. So it was really cool seeing the transformation from this, and just, you know, the customization and creativity went into this track. Now, they are at the Dirtfish Rally School. This is an actual place. I didn't think I had to say it last episode, but if you guys did not know, it is an actual place, which is really cool to see that in the game. Also, too, I did want to clear up last episode. I said that there was the first time having sponsors in the game. Now, I meant to say as a next-gen concept. As you guys know, they were already in the game back in Dirt 3 and such. Also, to Grid. So, I mean, it's not new to the entire franchise and series, but to the next gen was what I was getting at. Now, first impressions, though, from the wheel, it was hard as shit, you know, to really get this thing to slide out. I was really kind of starving for power coming through a lot of these, and you can see I'm really using, you know, first, second gear to really get this thing to go. Did a few restarts here, just trying to, you know, test out, feel out the area, see where I could get to, and what was offered on the track. And I did want to apologize for yesterday's episode. You know, I didn't really do it intentionally, but I threw the customization in first, just to kind of an introduction to what I was going to be doing for that episode, and, you know, just showing you the customization, because that was a big thing for me, considering, you know, we couldn't really do anything in Dirt Rally. Now they have the brand new customization for your liveries and such. I showed that off first, and a lot of people were just not happy the fact that they had to wait so long to get to the gameplay. You can double tap on your screen to get ahead 10 seconds if you would like to. But, you know, I figure for the true Dirt fans that were here for the Dirt 4 content and not just the gameplay, you're going to appreciate everything about it. But just for the people that came in expecting gameplay right off the bat, I do apologize for that. Didn't really mean it intentionally, but you know, it could have been worse, right? Shit, I could have did some serious clickbaiting or something like that. But now for the gameplay, though, as you guys can kind of see, I'm not really going for every single crate. The plan for here was to just really throw around the car and see what we could actually end up doing. As you guys can see right there, this is alpha. So things like what you just saw will happen going through certain things. So, I mean, this is where they're going to be fine-tuning the game and really perfecting it for launch day. There was a few people that were still kind of confused as to what console we were playing on for this actual direct capture. PlayStation 4 was the console, was not PC, was running beautifully. We had some fantastic setups, like I said. The force feedback, though, was really what I wanted to talk about for today. You know, how it felt, how does it differ from Dirt Rally? Now, there was one other thing that I wanted to discuss from last episode that I didn't really get to touch base on, and that was the brand new driving style of gamer mode compared to the simulation mode. Now, both of them will be offered in the game, which you can do online, offline, and such. It's exactly like Forza does, so you have normal and simulation steering, now offered on Dirt 4. Now, to be honest with you, you know, the simulation steering is definitely tough, but I feel, though, that if you are really getting involved in the game, you can get used to it fairly simply. Say it's not as hard as Forza is driving 900 horsepower, you know, Zondas down the track, ripping through sections. You know, it's not like that. You know, you're usually aided with the all-wheel drive system, and, you know, it really did feel great in your hands on a proper steering wheel, and I'm excited to get it home on my rig with the full handbrake functions and all that, but I just really wanted to throw it around second, third gear. You guys will notice, you guys probably going to point it out, the gauges in the car don't work. I get that. Again, alpha build, it's still a work in progress. We did have a top comment, though, from last episode because it reached a lot of people. I did not think that first episode was going to go that far. 121,000 views and over 4,000 likes for that. So I really do appreciate everybody coming out to that episode, showing your support. The top comment, though, from last episode was from Sammy43, and he goes, "When does Dirt 4 come out? The graphics are perfect." Somebody responded down below, 6/6/17, man. It's gonna be big. I'm excited. We're gonna be doing a full career mode on it, diving in online and such. And as you guys know, I'm gonna be starting up my Dirt Rally campaign actually and getting that back going for the next couple of weeks. So I'm really excited just to kind of, you know, get warmed up and get ready for Dirt 4 when it does come out in June, because it's going to go quick, man. I mean, it's right around the corner, so that is definitely going to be interesting. We also had a lot of different things coming into the game, including open wheelers, which I will have some actual gameplay for you guys in the next coming days, but that was very difficult on the wheel on simulation mode. Going back to the gamer mode, I gotta be completely honest with you, I didn't really get a lot of time to test it because I was really kind of hoping for more time than I really had, and I was just going until I just ran out of time. Now, going back to the wheel physics in general, it felt very similar to Dirt Rally. Now, as I was saying, I spoke with Paul Coleman about this, about, you know, the tire physics coming into Dirt 4, if anything has changed. Are you using a similar platform? And they said that they're working very closely with Cooper Tires. They have given them a lot of data. They have then combined that with their numbers, their data, their coding, and here we have Dirt 4's new physics engine. You know, I don't really want to call it a new physics engine because, you know, it does feel very similar, but it's refined. You know, it's fine-tuned in the fact that, you know, everything just feels more dialed in, if that makes sense. And I think fans of Dirt Rally will really appreciate those little fine-tunes coming in to Dirt 4 on a wheel. Now, I did get a little bit of time on a controller, not much. It does play really great though. You're not going to have any issues on a controller. Now, what you guys are looking at right here, Joyride Challenge 6, Subaru WRX STI right here, and again, we have the full wheel out. I love this wheel, man. I could not get enough of it. There were so many people that were at the event that just could not stop playing, man. So I definitely had just as much fun as everybody else there. Really excited to get it on my own rig. And this mode, actually, I really enjoyed this mode for its difficulty factor. You know, first I thought it was just going to be the open spot, you go through it and, you know, you make your own time, but they have really kind of separated it once again and added that next level of creativity to this, and they have thrown out actual obstacles that you have to dodge. Now, the green ones will actually deduct your time and the red ones will push your time forward, so you definitely want to stay away from the red and go for the green. And there's different layouts that you can actually run per lap, so, you know, you will see different ways to go, and you have to decide real time on the damn go which way you want to throw that car. And, you know, it is very challenging, but it's very fun at the same time, especially for your first run, and that is really where the challenge comes in. And, you know, to me, I'll never forget the first time that I run a track or, you know, anything like that, where it's just you're really in it for that moment and you have no idea what's coming up ahead. And sometimes those are the best things that you can actually experience. Now, for this though, like I said, I didn't know where I was going. So, you know, we had a few taps, but for the most part though, I kept a fairly clean run on this session. I was actually really proud of myself for doing so, but I definitely will give a lot of the credit to the car. It did feel phenomenal. But this spot right here, again, this is a nice little freestyle section. You go a full round and then take a right back. So it's really, you know, up to the player on how they want to take the course and really maximize their time. Maybe people would decide just not even to bother going into there, depending on how many green tokens there are. So, you know, there's a lot of things that come into play. And I think the biggest thing about the wheel physics that I can tell you guys is that, you know, I really did enjoy my time playing with it. You know, I wasn't just there, you know, oh, okay, you know, I'm done. I was craving for more and more to perfect my times, and that's really what I found and enjoyed about Dirt Rally, was just non-stop playing, and they have done a great job, seamless transitions. But I mean, the wheel just felt very strong. It was all adjustable in the settings, just like the previous Dirt Rally. You know, I felt scared under high speeds and the strong vibration. You know, once you get it in your hands, you know what I'm talking about. But it was very challenging being able to really perfect those lines on the car and just making sure that you're using just enough gas and not too much of it. Same with your brake, and then you can also do the clutch override, so that really does throw in a whole nother level of difficulty. But I mean, my first experiences in Spain with Dirt 4, like I said last episode, man, I'm excited. I cannot wait, and hopefully this gameplay right here gets you more pumped up for the game. Last time was just kind of a free roam session. This is where we really dive into the challenge mode. And I mean, like I said, there is a lot of different things to do. There's leaderboards now as well. And I guess I should talk about this, but for the first time ever, we are now going to have cross-platform leaderboards for Dirt 4. And I don't know if this has already been announced or not, but it's a huge thing. You know, you're going to be able to now place your times and then compete over the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. So it's pretty damn crazy to see that change coming in. And You know, I think it's going to really throw in another level of difficulty to see where you place against the entire spectrum of players, man. And for that is really cool. We finished with a 251.479 on the leaderboards. Good enough for gold. How do you feel about Dirt 4 so far? Are you going to be picking it up? What are your thoughts after watching the brand new challenge mode and the smash modes as well too? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching once again. Hopefully I have brought to you guys the best possible content for Dirt 4 for this early access capture. This is all thanks to Codemasters and Hollie Bennett. Like I said, both channels will be found in the description box down below for PlayStation access and everything Dirt 4 and Dirt Rally. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys once again for watching, guys. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all of which are found down below. It's your boy, the SLAP Train. I'm out. Peace.
Double low speed, double low share.